Hello, Aries, Aries Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to maybe learn something and better yourself, better your situation. Let's see, best to trust your own intuition above all else, because ultimately you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. But yeah, trust that your own intuition will separate what is meant for you and what is not. Let's go ahead and set the intention. Let me pull my last card here. All right, let's set the intention here and now. For the Aries collective watching this reading here, showing up to YouTube today, let's try and get them some clear and helpful and insightful messages for wherever they are currently at on their spiritual path. All right, let's do it, guys. So, center of your spread, you have the sun, Aries. I love that. So no matter where you're at, this says better days are ahead. And not only necessarily ahead, like this is present energy. So this may actually be having to do with taking stock of what's around you and leaning into all the good things that you have going for you. Despite the drama, despite the chaos, despite the adversity, right? The sun is quite literally in your zodiac sign, Aries. So happy birthday, by the way. And yeah, I mean, with that, when the sun moves into astrology, sometimes that can present us with challenges, but we have to remember the sun ultimately represents like our soul purpose and our ability to grow into whatever it is that we're meant to become. So it's a positive, but sometimes we're met with challenging situations and circumstances to kind of, bust us out and get us to the next level so that we are able to evolve. Because that's, in my opinion, that's kind of our one job here as like spiritual beings, right? We're meant to grow and evolve. So you're coming from a place of the Nine of Swords, so a little bit of struggle, feeling a little bit hurt, feeling maybe rejected or wounded. And then the goal, the way I read this card anyway, is sort of like the goal of what you're trying to accomplish, in your current situation is Three of Wands. So it's funny, the Three of Wands is a card of weight, but it's almost like live and let live. I think there's certain things that maybe you're analyzing, like over-analyzing, or trying to come up with solutions to problems that it's just maybe it's not always in your control, even though you'd like it to be, or maybe there's a lot of external factors or people that factor into this. It's like you want growth, you want the sun, you want joy, you want happiness. You may also want health and healing. Maybe there's been some trouble at home with on the health front or battling illness, or if it's not you, it could be someone in your life, right? And I don't predict scary messages, guys. That's not what this is about. It's just, that happens, right? People get sick, people get ill, right? So some of you might be dealing with that. Of course, not all of you. I think with the Three of Sticks or the Three of Wands, it's called the Three of Sticks in the stack. Excuse me, because that's coming through as the ultimate goal. Now, maybe it's not your goal now, but it's sort of almost like the goal that the universe is setting for you is that I think it's sort of like the serenity prayer. It's like realizing what is in your control and what isn't. And, the ability, the strength, whatever it is, the wisdom to know the difference. So for some of you, the ultimate result of this is waiting to see what happens. And I think especially for an Aries or any fire sign, that's difficult. Just being told like, it's out of your control. You just have to sit and wait. Now with that, it's not saying like, hang up your coat and get comfortable or settle in. It's going to be a long and bumpy ride and there's nothing you can do. No, again, it's about certain things are out of my control. So rather than stressing myself out and just kind of being in this spiral of unhelpful or scary thoughts or whatever it is, this is about going out and living your life and focusing on the things that you can control and seeking out avenues of joy and pleasure and happiness and fun. I think with this coming through, the universe is like, it's not always up to you. And I think there's a power and a maturity in being able to embrace that. That being said, this card also indicates, hey, your ships are coming in. Things are coming in for you. You are starting to manifest and, changes coming, something like the turning of the tide. And ultimately, the Three of Sticks leads to the Four of Sticks, the Four of Wands, which is frequently about partnership. It can also be about land and property, getting some sort of, it's funny, I'm hearing like return or investment on house, land, property. That's not typically what I would say there, but that wanted to be channeled. So for some of you, if you're in the process of buying or selling a house, land, property, there is going to be positive results there. But again, it's like, worrying about all the finite details that aren't necessarily within your control. It's best to release them and like give them to God or spirit, source, whatever you believe in. Others of you, it can be about partnership. You know, the 3 to the 4, 4 of Wands is Venus and Aries. So that does talk about partnership. And, you know, the Venus stuff is very like Libra, Taurus. And we're having these eclipses, the solar eclipse in Aries, the lunar eclipse in Libra. There is a lot of narratives right now going on, more so than usual, about the self versus the other and how we work in partnerships, how we define ourselves individually versus the role we play in partnerships, and you know where essentially the universe is trying to get us to see something that we weren't able to see before, or to release control, or to embrace, you know, the good qualities, and be almost like gratitude, to be grateful for the people that we do have in our lives helping us and supporting us. Because for some of you, you feel very alone in this struggle, you feel very alone in this battle, but this card to me is saying, I don't know, there's help around you. There's help available to you. So with that, let's keep going through this. So what's going on in your mind, your mental sector? Enlightenment. You want to be free from this because this has been like an ongoing battle or an ongoing struggle, or it doesn't even have to be a struggle, but an ongoing narrative that has been playing out in your life. Enlightenment is the Judgment card, and Judgment is ultimately about returning back to the past. Hello, Mercury retrograde, right? We're in that now, and I'm recording this anyway. Returning to the past to seek closure and clarity, to draw conclusions, to go back and fix things, so that way we can move on wholeheartedly, like fully and completely, where we're not feeling tethered to the past or a narrative that has just been playing out over and over and over again. It's almost like we have to do something different, and ultimately here it's like what the universe is wanting is for you to embrace growth and possibly to move away from something that just wasn't healthy. With enlightenment, it's all about the higher perspective. We can look back now and yes, maybe you can see the error of your way, but it's also not about punishing yourself or shaming yourself or, you know, being made to feel guilty. It's not about that. It's also about, oh, like I've learned things through adversity and challenge, and ultimately now it's a tool in my toolbox, right? And also, I have more perspective now. I've gained more understanding, so I can choose to act in a different way, or I can choose to approach things from a different way, or with a different technique, with a different person. You know, maybe it's about seeking advice or counseling or guidance from someone who is an expert in that field, or you know, someone you can lean on for support and encouragement. But enlightenment does say, like, if you're thinking about it, you're wanting to be freed from it. That being said, I'm just going to be honest. This is not meant to dampen your parade here, or however you want to say it, rain on your parade. You're not in the clear yet, though. Ultimately, it's because the goal here isn't to be freed from it, even though that I understand mentally you think that's going to solve all your problems. Part of the greater lesson of whatever it is you're going through is about learning patience and also how to still be present and enjoy life despite what is going on. Because if the goal here from the universe is learning to wait actively versus passively, you know, just giving up, crying in bed, waiting for the storm to pass, you know that expression, like it's about learning to dance through the rain? That's very much what this is. You know, because here's the thing, even when, and you will, when you get through this issue, when you get through this situation, this narrative, however it ends or plays out, it's like there's always going to be the next challenge. We're never going to be completely free of burden or responsibility or work, or, you know, in relationships, there's always going to be a little bit of tension. And in some ways, I think that's very good because it gets us to grow and see ourselves through the eyes of like another person. It's like things are being mirrored back so that we can ultimately learn about the self. That's kind of what the sun represents here. Though you might be dealing with a Leo, this might be something to do with your children as well, too, with the sun. But yeah, it's like you want to be free from this anxiety with enlightenment. And yeah, I think it's about learning to dance through the rain, which is funny because you have all these musical notes. It's like learning to dance, seeking joy and companionship and warmth and fun wherever you can get it, even though, you know, maybe you're in a situation that isn't ideal and you didn't necessarily ask for it or want for it, so to say. But you know, it's like this is the hand we've been dealt, and so all right, we're gonna get through this with, and I hate to be cliche, but like with a positive attitude. That's very sun energy. So what are you feeling? The Hermit. Again, you feel like you're all alone, but you're not. I also think you have analyzed this from 1,800 different perspectives, and you're like, I just don't know. I just don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to solve it. Like you may have had conversations, and it feels like you're just. It's like banging your head against a wall. With the Hermit, yeah, emotionally, it's like you're wanting to detach and sort of, there's some expression I'm trying to find. It's like hang up your hat or hang up your, it's almost like this idea of I just want to give up because it feels like it's like a tapped well. It's like a tapped resource. There's nothing here left for me. I don't think that's necessarily true. Again, I always look at like where are we at currently, and then what can I tell you that's going to motivate you to keep going, because ultimately what choice do you have? You're not going to give up. You never have, Aries, right? Like you're still showing up, you're still doing the thing. It hasn't always been easy, but you got a good track record. And the fact that you're showing up to a tarot reading seeking improvement, well, that speaks volume about your own like inner strength and tenacity and strength of character. So while there's times that you may want to isolate, and don't get me wrong, sometimes the Hermit card is a great card of like needing to take some time to yourself. If that's what's going to restore you emotionally and make you feel better, by all means do it. But I think a lot of you are coming at the situation of like, I don't know, unworthiness or not wanting to ask for help, not wanting to accept help, feeling like it makes you a failure to ask for help from other people, or again, feeling like you're going at this alone. I promise you there's like, in metaphor, it's like there's 1,000 other people who could show up to this tarot reading who are experiencing the exact same thing you are, right? Now, that being said, there's not 1,000 people showing up to this video. Not yet, anyway. Not yet. But do you understand what, like, you're never actually at this alone, but maybe for you it is about finding some sort of community or network of people who are experiencing a similar situation, and at bare minimum can just like be present with one another, can hold space where people are able to express themselves authentically and not feel shamed or weird or guilty or feel like they're complaining or it's almost like, sorry, there's a better word for it, not feeling worthy of other people's time. The Hermit ultimately leads to the Wheel of Fortune, though. We have to remember that, which is, it's very hard to see it when you're in Hermit mode of feeling like you're alone or isolated, or you've chosen to go down some sort of path alone. Sometimes like we're in the thick of it. We're in the darkness where we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but hey, there it is. I actually think this quote unquote light at the end of the tunnel is closer than you think. The Wheel of Fortune says expansion, growth. It's similar to the sun. It's like Jupiter energy, but it's equally like fire sign energy too. So it's like, this is about not giving up. This is about leaning into your stamina, your tenacity, and knowing that like there are good things around the corner for you. But yeah, this is a period of struggle and challenge, and maybe this is about finding ways to make it fun. And it's almost like rose-tinted glasses as a way to get through a tricky situation. Because it's not that you're not aware of all the heavy stuff going on. You absolutely are. But this is choosing to see the positive when even it might be easier to lean into like the sad sack glass half empty. It's choosing to raise your vibration. So the immediate help available to you is the Star. Thinking about the long term, thinking about your destiny, thinking about, you know, how you got started down this path in the first place. Ultimately, there was something something healing about this connection or healing about this relationship, the situation, or it just felt like a goal of yours that you wanted to pursue, and maybe there's trouble in paradise, right? Also, for the immediate help available to you, it says healing. Healing needs to be your number one priority right now. And again, this period of isolation, you're not completely alone, but maybe for some of you, it's just knowing that your friend is a phone call away or a text away, or being able to, you know, do a Skype date with your friend or your family. I do sort of sense that you might be away from people. Maybe you've just moved and you don't know anybody and you're kind of feeling lonely, right? That could be very like eclipsey type, you know, Libra Aries stuff too. It's like I've empowered myself to go down this new path, and I'm in this new city, I had this new job, but I know nobody, and it's kind of lonely. Aquarius energy is all about the linking and the connections of communities and people and groups of people, frequently with a common interest. It's a healing card, so I think it's saying there's absolutely healing in store for you. You need to recover and recuperate from whatever you're going through. And I'm hearing some of you are like, I don't have the time. No offense, I'm going to give you tough love. Spirit is like, that's not a valid excuse. Like, you need to find the time to heal, because ultimately you're not going to do anything if you're disrespecting your body. And in addition to that message, the immediate help available to you is reaching out to people, asking for help, or just being in contact with people. We're social creatures by nature. We can't do everything alone. And it's almost like, here's the thing, for a lot of you, you're not wanting to burden other people with your problems, but that's a you thing. That's something like your shadow side is telling you, like, yeah, I don't want to burden people with my troubles or be that sad person. It's like, because that reflects poorly on, like, it's like you think that reflects poorly on you or makes you look weak or something. And it's not, like, people don't interpret it as that. That's you stuck in your own head when there's something very healing about the people around you. Six of Cups. Yeah, you have a good person from the past who they've been your hero before. I don't even know what that means, but it's like they've come in to save the day before. This is someone you love, whether it's romantic love or familial love or like almost like a best friend. It could even be a sibling. I'm going to say, too, this is kind of an unusual message, but I almost get this could be an ex from your past, but it's someone who you probably have an amicable relationship with. Again, there's something kind of like healing and cathartic about the silliness and the energy attached to this person where you guys are able to laugh about things. And this person can hunker down and do the serious stuff, but they also know how to keep it light. And there's the power of silliness and the power of like humor to get you through adversity is working its miracles here, particularly in the form of some sort of strong connection. Again, siblings and friends are coming through, or possibly an ex that you're still amicable with. And some very strong connection from your past is going to help get you through this period of waiting on something or waiting for some sort of conclusion or finality in some narrative in your life right now. It's funny, you're almost being told to go back to the past, go back to a friendship or a connection or a community that you used to belong to. Maybe you're just taking a vacation, or maybe you're going to visit your hometown and you're meeting up with, old neighbors that still live in the area. There's something healing about the past, bringing you back to the past, and also being in the present too. I mean, it's both. It's both. So action or advice that might get you through something you're not currently taking advantage of that you should or could. Seven of Six. I like that. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds kind of cool. 7 of 6. It sounds like a cool game. All right. 7 of Sticks, aka 7 of Wands. This is about determination and not giving up, which we have said before. It's a Mars energy card, and since Aries, you are a sign ruled by Mars, it's saying like, you got this, boo. You got this, bro. Like, yeah, there might be a need to pause and reflect and maybe go at it in a different way. I think your approach needs to change here. I'm not necessarily getting that you need to work harder, you need to work smarter. And if that doesn't apply to your scenario, again, it's this idea of, I'm being forced down this path and I don't want to be here, but ultimately there doesn't seem to be a choice or an option right now. So it's what I make of it. I can put on the rose-tinted glasses and make the best of it. And, I don't know what this is, guys. It's like, at least I get to listen to my favorite music while I'm working this shitty job. Or at least I have a really cool coworker that helps lift me up even though we have struggles or whatever it is. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like seeing your opportunities for joy and healing in a situation where it's not ideal, you don't want to be there, but yeah, it's about how you choose to deal with it, your perspective and your perception of what's going on, seeing the glass is half full even on the days where it's really, really a struggle. So that's your action card. Again, I want to say it's really not about doing more. In some ways for you, it's about doing less, but still showing up to complete the task. Still showing up for yourself, for your own life, because whatever you're going through now, it is going to be worth it in the end, but you seem to have like hit a wall, or you seem to feel like you've stopped gaining progress. But what's interesting is you have the card of growth and progress right in the center of your spread. So whatever you're going through, even if you're helping a parent or helping a sibling or helping a child, you yourself have been changed by this process in actually a very, you're not gonna understand it now, but this has actually helped you to grow as a person too. You've learned a lot from this situation because we've had to shine light on something that has been very difficult. And so again, it's like strengthening that muscle. It's becoming a tool that you can add to your toolbox. Yeah, as I said, working smarter, not working harder. There's also a need to communicate and ask for help. There's also a need to already see this as a victory, as it's already been won. It's already been decided that I'm going to get through this and I'm going to be safe and things are going to be restored and I have everything that I need to get through this. Like, I'm wanting to say like survival mentality, but it's also sort of rose tinted glasses, but there's a better way of putting it because I understand rose tinted glasses has like a negative connotation. In this though, I mean the opposite. It's like choosing to see the beauty in life, you know, even though maybe it's a little bit hard to find it. You have to dig a little bit deeper right now because of whatever you're going through, but it is there. It is available to you. I think this may have to do with changing your mindset and leaning into like your positivity. That's really what I get from this Aries. There could be a conversation maybe with a higher up or a supervisor or a boss that actually goes very well, but it's not instantaneous or immediate. It's like you have to plant the seed and be a better advocate for yourself. Some of you may need to pull back from work or ask for time off in order to deal with some sort of situation with the family. Strong Leo, Aquarius energy. I think symbolically Scorpio energy is here too, and possibly Virgo. For Aries, what can I tell Aries? Detach. You're being asked to detach from something that you've been holding on to. When we hold on too tightly to the desired outcome, it restricts the flow. Trust that the outcome will work out and let go of your attachment to it. Love it. All right, Aries, that's what I got for you. Thanks for showing up to my channel today, guys. I hope this was helpful to somebody out there, or hopefully multiple people. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I invite you to do so. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted when I post readings in the future. Like, share, subscribe, all those good things. And if you want more content from me, I am on Instagram and Facebook as The Intuitive Teacup. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.